Welcome back to Garage 512, everybody. So before I get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my subscribers worldwide that have grown this channel from just 653 subscribers at the beginning of April to 10,000 as of Monday. And as of today, I looked and it's about a little over 11,000 subscribers. So why that means so much to me is because you guys are helping me spread the early screenings message for prostate cancer awareness. Yeah, we talk about cars all day, every day, right? And it is the bulk of my video, and I usually save it to the end of the message, to the end of the video to talk about prostate cancer screenings and getting ahead of the curve and getting your PSAs tested right and all the things. But, I feel like I need to move that to the front, at least, for a little bit and just say, hey, it's survivable if you catch it early. And you guys have helped me spread this message and these early screening message, right? So thank you. Honestly, it means the world to me. It is the main purpose of the channel is to get that message out there while we're over here talking about cars. So that said, let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. So a couple of months ago, I was out at Tech Ridge picking up that good E, right? And this really high horsepower Mustang pulls up in the pump next to me, right? And I'm like, damn, that sounds good. He's obviously filling up on E85. So he was asking me, say, hey, do you ever put 93 in the car? And I'm like, no. Because honestly, it's running 13.25 to 1. And even though I've got a flex fuel sensor and I can run 93 if I get stuck in between cities, I don't tend to do that because I want to be able to drive spiritedly, right? And I don't want to have to ease up on it. Even though I've got a tune in for it, it's not going to make that kind of power and I don't want to be conservative. So I keep E85 in it. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. So let me research that. Is it true that E85 has no detergents in it whatsoever to clean the injectors and whatnot? So I'm like, I need to look into that, because what he does is he fills up with a full tank of 93 once a month just for the purposes of cleaning the injectors. And I'm like, that's an interesting strategy. I wonder, is there an alternative? Is there something I can add to E85 to clean my injectors so I don't have to run 93, right? I need an option here. I know I can do 93. What do I have out there as an additive? So that's the purpose of the video. That's what we're going to talk about today. So what we're going to do is ask ChatGPT what it thinks about it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. All right. So as you can see here, I went on ahead and asked ChatGPT ahead of time, hey, so does pump E85 have any detergents to clean your fuel injectors like premium gasolines? And what does it say? Nope. Pump E85 is not like premium top-tier gasoline when it comes to detergents. It does not contain the same level or type of injector cleaning additives like premium gasoline. As you can see here, premium gasoline detergent package is built in. So top-tier fuels are required to introduce detergent additives that clean injectors and prevent carbon buildup. And they give an example like Techron here uses chemicals like PEA and PBA, specifically designed to dissolve deposits. So that's why running good premium fuel actually maintains injector cleanliness over time. Now, E85 is mostly ethanol. It is not detergent focused. As you can see right here, it says E85 is mostly 70-85%. Yeah, I mean, best case scenario, even at, Tech Ridge where I go, is, according to my E85 gauge, is about 74%. You'll see some, as I mentioned this in my other videos, you can check these out here, but, the pumps what I've learned is the pumps that say contains a minimum of 70% ethanol, that's the good stuff. That usually is about, is over 70%, I'll just say it that way. Where I go, it's usually about 74% ethanol. The one time I got 72 when I went up to Pat G for the retune. But yeah, so this is interesting. So E85 theoretically is 70-85% ethanol plus regular gasoline. And I take that to mean 87 octane. 87 octane doesn't have any detergents in it, only the premium gas is required to have that. So it doesn't rely on any detergent packages. It says, in fact, some gasoline detergents don't work well in high ethanol fuel systems, and many traditional additives are incompatible with E85. So then I'm like, well, then how the hell do I do this without running, 93 and having to drive conservatively? So you're typically, like it says right here, you're typically not getting the same injector cleaning chemistry at the pump. So ethanol, in and of itself, what does it do? It is a strong solvent, it tells me. It's a strong solvent. It can dissolve varnish and sludge in the fuel system and clean out tanks and the lines, okay? And so it says here, like, that's why switching to E85 sometimes can declog the junk, the gunk in your system, right? So E85 can sometimes clog filters and loosen the junk. It loosens junk. Interesting. It's interesting that it used that term. So why E85 is not an injector cleaner? So what does it tell me here? So even though ethanol can clean, it's not the same as detergent. There's no controlled deposit prevention chemistry. There's no long-term protection against buildup. It can introduce water plus corrosion concerns. And some blends can actually cause deposits or incompatibility issues. So it says here, think of ethanol as like a solvent flush, and like premium gas is like ongoing maintenance and protection. So bottom line, for my kind of build, and it knows all about my car. I type all my stuff into ChatGPT. So for my stroked out Z06 in tuned setups, E85 is a great performance fuel, right? We all know that. It's high octane, it's got natural cooling effects in and of itself. It burns cooler and cleaner. Premium gasoline is basically maintenance fuel. So it's got 93 octane and it's an ongoing maintenance thing. So that's why the guy at the station was telling me he runs like a tank of 93 in his car like once a month. So let's see what else ChatGPT says about this. So premium gas keeps injectors and valves clean over time. But if you're running E85 regularly, like me, don't assume it's cleaning your injectors like premium gas. Many guys will still run a PEA-based cleaner occasionally, or, like the guy at the station, switch back to pump gas for periodic maintenance. So, from a real-world takeaway, what's it telling me here? Running E85 for power, perfect. One injector health and long-term health on that, add a periodic cleaner, PEA-based ethanol safe additive. Or you do what the guy at the Mustang guy did, which is basically add a tank of premium 93 occasionally, and he does it once a month. So then I was like, okay, so what do I use, right? So said, give me a recommendation. Give me your best injectors, the best injector cleaners that will work for E85, all right? So what do we got here? So we want a strong PEA, ethylamine detergent chemistry, or formulated, one that's formulated to work with E85. So best overall, and I stopped at this one. I saw the best one and I stopped. Redline SL-1 Complete Fuel System Cleaner. This is probably the best all-around option for modified E85 cars, and it gives me the why. So it's very high PEA concentration, ethanol compatible. It adds upper cylinder lubrication, safe for boosted and high performance applications. Extremely popular in the LS and BMW and turbo communities. A lot of enthusiasts choose this because E85 can introduce lubrication, can reduce lubrication right here compared to regular gasolines. So people on enthusiast forums consistently point to its high PEA content. So how do I use it? It says, all right, so one bottle every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. I'm in luck. I have 3,000 miles on the new motor and I've only run E85. So great. Or if you can do like the Mustang guy and, well, wait, this is different. So this is every 3,000 to 5,000 miles or every few tanks, depending on whether or not you run your car much. And I run my car every weekend. So, or you do what the Mustang guy does and basically put 93 in it once a month. That's what he does. So that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to cut to my trip to O'Reilly's, where I'm going to go pick up this Redline SL-1 Complete Fuel System Cleaner and see what's up.
The next day.
All right, so I had a hard time finding the SL-1 Complete Fuel System Cleaner by Redline at AutoZone. So I made some calls. They don't carry it. Google search says they do. Maybe it's just something that you can only buy online. But I did call this particular store and verify that this particular O'Reilly's has 2 of them. I have a hill country cruise this weekend, so I'm not opting for the option of going 93 pump in the vet, which does have all the detergents, right? But that also means I need to behave, and I don't want to behave, right? I want to do some spirited driving on the Twisted Sisters. I've never been before. This will be fun. From what I understand, it's kind of like the Texas equivalent of Tail of the Dragon. We'll see. But anyway, I want to do some spirited driving, so I don't want to put 93 in there because I'm running such high compression. Yeah, I got a flex fuel sensor, but that also means I kind of need to take it easy. So I don't want to take it easy. So I'm here at O'Reilly's to get the Redline SL-1 Complete Fuel System Cleaner, which is compatible with E85. I verified that with Redline this morning. Talked to rep over there, and I will leave their contact number down in the description below. But I'm over here. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to dump it in the vet so that it is ready for this weekend. All right, let's go see let's verify that they actually do have it.
5 minutes later.
All right, let's go find it. And here we go. Redline. And there is, this thing would focus. There we go, S-1, Complete Fuel System Cleaner. Now the thing is, it doesn't actually say for E85. I only know that because I called up there and talked to a rep, Alan, I believe is his name, but this is all French here and it's got English here. And, you know, it says, you know, safe for unleaded, oxygenated petrol engines. Gasoline. So it worried me that it didn't say actually E85. I think I'm going to call up there. I'm going to buy this and see if I can get something in writing that says it's safe for E85, because when I looked at the label online, it didn't say E85. So before I put this in the vet, I'm going to verify. But there's the part number.
I love that your shoes match your shirt.
Hey, thank you.
My stepfather would love that.
It is totally not by accident. I have to do the yellow and yellow.
He loves bright colored shirts and bright socks. So
Love it.
fun.
And it's such a bright day, so you know you kind of have to go and do likewise, right? There's part number. There it is. 60103. So I'm gonna get something in writing, but yeah, that's it.
Many hours later.
Okay, so because I'm sensitive about blowing up my shit, I mean, seriously, I spent 30 grand on that motor. I am not about to dump some $15 fuel additive into it without verifying with the manufacturer that this is safe for E85. So I called up Redline directly, their headquarters. I talked to Adam Christensen over there. He sent me the technical PDF documents, which I'll throw up here, and you can check those out. Pause the video if you want. But I wanted something in writing from them saying that this is safe for E85. So he emailed his tech over at, well, I forget the name of the company. You'll see it the second at the bottom of the screen. But so anyway, so he emailed me. He says, see information on the SL-1 attached, as well as the information from the tech in the email chain below. Let me know if you have any questions. There's his number. I asked him, is it okay if I show this? He says, absolutely, no problem. So cool. So let me show you what the tech's response was. So the tech comes back with, on the TDS, under additional information, it states, formulated for powerful detergents to improve fuel economy, restore power by cleaning, blah, 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 blah. Highlights, unleaded, reformulated, and oxygenated gasolines will not harm oxygen sensors or catalytic converters. Although we don't specifically, which is what I was concerned about, right? Although we don't specifically state E85 on the literature, E85 is a highly oxygenated fuel, so it is encompassed in that statement. All right, cool. That's what I need to know. And that was Tyler over at Technical Services for Redline. So good. So let's go dump this thing in there. Oh, and by the way, I noticed when I looked on the bottle, it actually does say ethanol fuels. I mean, I was looking for E85 spelled out. It does say ethanol on the back. And so there it is. But yeah, this is safe. Now I can do the needful.
2 seconds later.
All right, so we've got the stuff. There's the stroker. As you can see, there's the receipt. This was $15.99 after tax, $17.31. So, like I said in my earlier, I am not trying to blow up a $30,000 motor for a $15, or in this case, $17.31 additive. But since we got verification, let's go ahead and put this in here. We've already got some good E, about 74%. Let it guzzle up the good stuff. And then we'll start up the car and pray for no check engine light. I didn't have one before. All right. All right. Let's see what's up. No check engine light. Now that sounds good. We're not revving it because we're not at 160 degrees. It's 82 right now. By the way, this thing shifts like a freaking dream now that I got it back from LMR. Didn't even talk about that. I'll probably hit that up at the end of the video, but yeah, we're all good. 26,802 miles. All right, let's rock and roll. Okay, so that's a wrap, y'all. So really looking forward to getting the stroker out on the road again. I haven't had it out since the last HPDE event up at COTA on April 18th. Right after that, I took it to LMR. If you followed the shorts, you know I was having some clutch issues. A couple of comments a long time ago were about, you know, why am I wearing the glove on the right hand when I'm my shift hand right? It's because my palm was hurting. I mean, I could not get it into gear. You know, once the car got warm, it was like, I don't want to say impossible to get into gear, but you would just like get frustrated and just go to another gear, go to a higher gear. Sometimes it wouldn't go into third. Sometimes it was kind of clunky going into fourth. It was impossible to get into first and reverse. If the car has been running for, let's say, 30 minutes or so, it got warm and it was just like impossible. So I took the car up to LMR. They ultimately replaced the entire Monster triple disc clutch with another one. And then had to replace the aluminum flywheel, which I really liked because it spun up so much quicker. I mean, it still spins up quick. Don't get me wrong. It's just if you felt it spin up with the aluminum clutch flywheel, which was only like 12 pounds, you'll notice the difference. But it's not huge. But more importantly, I don't have the clutch issue anymore. Like I'm okay with a little, you know, with it, you know, not spinning up quite as fast as it was before, as long as I don't have an issue with it shifting. So problem solved. So they had the car for 2 weeks. Steven took it home and drove it in stop and go traffic. So obviously it'll be running for like an hour. It was all good, no problems. They gave it back to me. It shifts smooth as glass. I mean, God, thank God, because it was just a pain in the ass to just have to like keep your foot on the clutch in first gear if you're at a light. because you don't dare take your foot off the clutch because it won't go back in or may not go back in. Then you got to turn the car off, put the clutch in, and then put it in first, then start the car. Same thing with reverse. It was just a pain in the ass. So my clutch foot never got any rest. So problem solved. Drove it back to Austin. They had it for a good 2 weeks. First week was replacing the clutch and all the things. Second week was, the whole Q&A thing to make sure that the car was good before they gave it back to me. All good. So I'm looking forward to driving the car this weekend. I am headed to this, for lack of a better way of saying it, it's like the Texas version of Tail of the Dragon. Let me show you. It's this weekend. It's supposed to rain, but I got clearance just a few minutes ago that during the morning time when we're supposed to be there, it's supposed to be dry. So I'm going to stop showing me and show you what this course looks like. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. So this is Twisted Sisters. So I have never been. So it looks like a really nice course. And I put a link in the description to this guy's Instagram page where he talks about the history of the course. I mean, it is really, really nice. And I think we've got about 8 or 9, maybe 10 cars, muscle cars going up there. So we're going to meet and then drive up there and do the whole Twisted Sisters thing, have lunch, no doubt, before heading back to Austin. So this looks fun, and I'm really looking forward to, really just kind of, getting back out there in the stroker and just doing some time in it, spending some time with the car. It's been 2 weeks, so I missed a week because the car was in the shop, so I didn't have any content that week. I was in Baltimore for my yearly stadium tour. I do an Astro. I try to do it when the Astros are there, but it's not necessary because I'm there to see the stadium. So every year I do a different stadium. Last year was Detroit Tigers. This year was Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. So I did a short on that. I posted it on Monday, just snapshots from the trip. Not car related, so I made it a short. So so that's the why. Good news on my PSA numbers is I was telling you guys, let me just show you this. I got updated numbers as of March, and they are quite good. So as you can see here, as I always talk about, typically, not for everybody, but typically a normal PSA is between, and that stands for prostate specific antigen, right? So this is the thing that you want to measure to determine if maybe you might have prostate cancer. So normal is considered, 0 to 4 for most people. But this is why I always tell people, start checking your PSAs way before the doctor tells you to. That way you've got a baseline, right? I talked about this on my dyno videos, right? This is normal. And you can see I started at 42 and, they gradually go up. That's normal. But, and sometimes it goes down, right? So as you can see, my numbers kind of fluctuate. They go up a little bit. I forgot, and this is why I harp on the fact to check that box, right? Because the doctor has never once remembered to check that box. I've always had to be the person to say, hey, I need you to check the PSA blood form box since I'm there for my physical. They're doing my CBCs and everything else. Check the box, right? It doesn't cost you anything depending on your insurance, right? But I mean, it's negligible. Just check the box. It's just one more test for them to check when they got your blood anyway. Well, he forgot, and this time I forgot. This was in 2022, and as you can see, right here, this null value here, where I've got no information for you. And then the very next year, it jumps up to 6.03. I'm like, geez, I really wish I had known what that number was. But again, I was charting it for a long time, and you can tell that, this is a major, major spike. It's obviously over 4. But let's just say I skipped these 2 years, and this third one here, where it dips down to in the 3s. Maybe I consider myself, well, maybe I'm okay. I'm still below 4. The last time was, 2.9, and now I'm at, 3.69. Maybe I'm good. And then, of course, the next year it goes up. It's a slow-growing cancer. So you got some time, I think, but I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor, gut check that, right? But you can see, if I was alarmed at this spike, as I should be, And because of that, I saw a doctor immediately, and it's like, hey, what's going on with this? And they wanted to monitor it for a little bit or whatever. And then like, no. At some point, I'm just like, look at this. They got up to like 7. I'm like, nope, we're doing like the biopsy. I felt like I had to project manage my doctor. We're doing the biopsy. We're doing the needful, and we're going to just find out what the treatments are and all this stuff. So anyway, the point is get your baseline, because if you don't have this and you start it here, you might think you're normal, right? And if you didn't have all this and you didn't see this spike at 6, and then it went down a little bit to 5, and then, back down to 3 and all, but it goes all over the place. And it also depends on whether sometimes the blood test is hitting like the left side of the prostate versus the right side, which is kind of what this was, the doctor's explanation to me for this. But the point is, check the box, okay? You're there for a blood test anyway, because you're doing yearly physicals, and I hope you're doing your yearly physicals, right? But I mean, this is the kind of thing that if you catch it early, you live, and there's just no good reason to not do the thing. So again, get those yearly physicals. Have the doctor check that blood form box on your the PSA box on your blood form, and track your numbers, because God forbid you end up getting it, but if you catch it early, you live, okay? So again, have fun. I'm looking forward to this weekend for all the kids out there who are graduating high school. Congratulations. And to the parents, good luck. It's going to be a fun weekend. I'm going to a graduation this weekend myself. So it's a Memorial Day weekend. Have some fun, have some barbecue, check that box, and I will see you next week after my Twisted Sisters road course thing. All right, take it easy, y'all.
Hit play, let it roll. Garage 512 in control. Got the story on the screen, yeah, it's all me. Little rush in my chest when the car shake. Cutscenes, quick fade.